back everyone to today's daily market stand up. Today is 9th of September 2024, that's Monday. So before we go ahead, we usually cover a couple of concepts when doing the market review, and that is previous day high and low. We'll talk about the candle formation, which is the open high low close and open low high close concepts. We take into consideration the power of three: time, fair value gaps, SMT, and standard deviation. So like always, we'll first start with the higher time frame to understand like the narrative of the price. So if we go into the weekly chart, we can see that we closed below the balanced price range, which is the BPR. So this is the box which denotes that. So you can see that the large down close candle was the last week's candle and we closed below this balanced price range. So you can see like right now we just had like Monday, which is today, and in during Monday we see that price started expanding a bit higher and we have currently tapped into this balanced price range. So going into tomorrow, there is a likely chance that we will start heading lower and potentially target the sell side liquidity here. So let's go back to our daily chart to see more closely on how the price is moving. So if you look at the Monday's price, we can see that on Friday we closed bearish, and then on Monday we opened and we started moving higher, tapped into this balanced price range. This is the new candle that is forming, that is for Tuesday, that is tomorrow. So this is potentially a manipulation move to the higher, and we have hit the high of the previous day, a high that is Monday, that is today. So potentially there are two scenarios that can happen. Either we can close above the balanced price range, validating an upward price movement, or we can move to the downside and target these lows for the week. So that is something that it will be much more clear going into tomorrow. So let's go into the 4-hour chart and try to see how price was forming today. So if you look at this price, this is the 6 a.m. candle for Friday, and then we saw a very large rejection for the 6 a.m. candle, and the 10 a.m. candle then went bearish. Going into today, we have this 6 a.m. candle. We did not close above the 4-hour bearish SIBI, which is sell side imbalance, buy side inefficiency. We failed to close above, but we had reached the mean threshold of this SIBI. So if I draw this SIBI here, you can see on the 6 a.m. candle we went close to closing the price, closing the candle above the SIBI, but we failed to close it. So but due to the bullish price action, and since we moved past the mean threshold of the SIBI, I was expecting price to continue higher, and that is what happened. If you see on the 10 a.m. we moved higher, and then we got a rejection since we are already in this weekly balanced price range, and then we started moving lower. So let's go down to a 15-minute chart here. So since it's Monday, we typically refer to the 5-minute chart rather than the 15-minute chart. So we can look into this here. So let's look at the times first. This is where Friday closed, and this is our previous day low, which is Friday's low. We can see after the daily open, that is 6 p.m. open, we started moving higher. We came down, bounced off the daily open price, and then we started continuing higher. So if we want to go higher, we want to see a manipulation lower and then go higher, but we did not see an efficient manipulation here. Even the range gap that we see here was not completely closed. We still continued moving higher. Now this is important because right at our midnight open, we see market trade higher again. There is no like downward movement which we can consider as manipulation. But if we were planning to manipulate, the manipulation usually happens between the 2 to 5 p.m., or you can consider like anything between like midnight to 5 p.m. That is the London session. So if you look into this, we can see that right around like 1 to 1:30 we had like a displacement down, and then we pushed higher. So I use this displacement as the manipulation leg to focus on higher prices, and we can see that we reached like 2 to 2.5. We saw a rejection, we continued downwards, and eventually we hit the standard 4 -4 standard deviation, which is the max expansion here. So if we look at right at 9:30, we see price move higher, validating that we are getting very close to this max expansion. So there is a potential chance for a reversal, because usually you won't see like price expand after -4 max expansion. So that is why whenever you hit this range, you have to be very careful, because you might see a reversal coming through. And then again at 10 a.m. we saw a price a little bit movement downwards. We pushed high, and then you see this wick. That wick is a large rejection wick, and then after that we see a huge price movement to the downside. If you consider this movement, this validated this particular order block, and then price just started moving lower. So again, the last movement that we saw here, if we consider that as a manipulation leg, then our targets will be -2 to -2.5 as the first target. If we close aggressively below 2.5, then -4 will be our final target. But you can see that price came, tapped into this -2 to 2.5, and then started moving up. We did not get a clean entry here today. You can see that there was a fair value gap here. I was actually expecting price to, right now after creating a market structure shift, price to come and tap into this and then continue lower. Unfortunately, it did not happen, so there was no clean entry. However, I know that some people try to take entry right at the order block. So if you consider this as an order block, once price validated this order block, which is this one, after the candle closure, you could have entered right at this order block, and this next candle would have given you the entry. But again, that is not something that everybody does, so there was no clean entry, but at least we are able to read market price pretty accurately today. So again, going into tomorrow, the idea would be that we want to see how price reacts from this weekly BPR, which is balanced price range. Right now we are currently in the balanced price range. The 6 a.m. candle, the 6 a.m. 4-hour candle tomorrow will tell us a lot more narrative as to whether we are planning to expand higher or lower. So that is all for today. I hope this session was good, but let me know if you have any questions. And again, we'll be back tomorrow with a daily market recap after tomorrow's price session is complete. All right, thanks a lot. Have a good one.